over the last couple of months, we've been focusing on the major structural elements of our rebuild. We've glassed in the ribs and stringers to reinforce the hull. We've put in place the primary bulkhead. We've glassed in some extra layers of fiberglass to reinforce the ceiling. We've glassed in the secondary bulkheads, which revealed all the big spaces in our boat. And by the way, by stretching and redesigning the layout, we've managed to add almost 4 extra feet to the interior of our sailboat. We have a larger head.
It's like residential size.
A larger and better shaped galley. We even have an aft cabin, miniature, but aft cabin that we didn't have before. And all that with the same size and shaped hull. And now that we have the general layout for the boat, we can start tackling the smaller things, and we call them the tertiary bulkheads. And these are the shelves, the base for the countertops, and all the small elements that we still want to glass to the hull to avoid squeaking, but they're not so structural, so that we can start test fitting all the appliances. In this box, we have the real reason why we're doing this entire renovation. Can't pick it up. And now for the other side.
There's some less than perfect areas, but it's literally behind the closet, so I think it looks great though.
I think it looks awesome. I think you're like crushing it.
Yeah. I think even if it's areas that you technically don't see, I'd rather that it's like top notch. Yeah?
I think you're
This is probably one of my best work actually.
I think you're doing a better job than the professionals. No, for sure.
Well, today we're getting ready to install our head in the truck. No matter where we park, nice view, elevated platform. No, we are we are working on the head this week, and in order to do that, we are bringing our head out of our storage unit into the boat to try to like sort of dry fit everything and make sure all the spaces and sizes are correct before we start cutting things and gluing things in place permanently. Yesterday I cut just sort of like the pedestal that the head's gonna sit on, but nothing's glassed in place or glued in place. And so today we're gonna bring the head in there, set it down, make sure everything fits right, and then take this back out so we can like glass everything in place and finish gluing everything into the head that we need to glue into the head before we paint and insulate. This is our old toilet out of UMA 2.0. And
Out of UMA 1.0.
No, 1.0 was a bucket.
Oh, right.
I would consider the Home Depot bucket UMA 1.0. UMA 2.0 was a flushing toilet. We replaced the pump recently, so it's basically brand new. So we're probably just gonna keep it. Let's carry it inside and see if it fits. It's a heavy little chunk. Conditioning feels so good.
Oh, it's not light.
It's inside. Let's start facing the door. Okay. It's gonna be somewhere, and we're gonna have a thing behind it for plumbing and stuff.
Smoke test?
That's pretty good. Smoke test. That's actually pretty good. I was worried that the pedestal was going to be too high, but like if the floor is here, it's the right width. It's got good like braceability. So
You know, for those tough moments.
so you can lean over when we're sailing offshore. There has been some interesting moments when the head was facing the other way.
Head 1.0.
Head 1.0 was complicated to use offshore. We had a composting toilet when we first started, like a DIY one, but we were going to pay $1,000 for a bucket and a funnel. And then we upgraded to the master rating one. Not all master rating toilets are created equal. Some of them are absolute shit. We've been on a lot of boats, and a lot of master rating toilets just don't perform well. But we like this one. It works really well, and we like how simple it is to wire. We can just put like one button that just flushes the toilet, so you don't have to like explain filling and flushing and filling and flushing to people who aren't used to boats. This bulkhead's gonna get cut back a little bit today, and then there's gonna be like, you know, countertop space, and then above, back up here, we're gonna have a holding tank again, small holding tank. It'll be above the water line, so you can just open it and drain. You'll need like a second pump to pump it out. But yeah, this is a good height, at least for me. You wanna try it?
You didn't flush after you were done? Disgusting.
Yeah,
It's like filling up.
I poop electrical
Like,
wire.
what did you eat? All right, let's see if I can. So for me, I probably would put my feet up here.
Is that comfortable for you?
It's okay. I like it. So much space. I think countertop height is about here, right? Mm-hmm. So you still have a bit of a brace yourself.
Brace yourself.
So why? I guess you should come talk with me in the shower.
Okay, pause.
Ooh, you can shower while we can talk about why we're keeping our toilet a little bit. Because
Instead of going back to another composting head?
yeah, so we've had, didn't mention before, we've had a composting toilet. This wasn't really
dry
compost.
holding tank head, because no toilet is a real composting
Yeah.
toilet unless it's the size of a small house.
Or where you can keep it for multiple months.
Or if you take it out and put it in your compost pile, then it's a composting toilet. There's no such thing as like a portable composting toilet. It's stupid marketing. It's like dry holding tank, we might
Yeah.
call it.
Yeah, I think that would be
Or
right.
dry holding medium or something like that. But yeah, they're not composting toilets. Dry head. We're gonna call them a dry head.
But there's a company called Dry Head though, isn't it?
No.
Okay, so
So-
we'll call it Dry Head from now on. Remarketing.
Pretty much all of them act in the same way. It's a bucket with a dry medium in it, usually peat moss or coconut coir. Then they have like a churning handle to like stir it up. And then they have some sort of urine diversion into a bottle. They're all kind of the same. Most of them hover around the $1,000 price point, which is absolutely insane for a bucket.
Technically a bucket and a half.
A bucket and a half, a bucket and a bottle. We built our first one for free, and it was the same thing. We kind of had a turning handle, and it was a bucket and a urine diverting funnel into a bottle, and it worked fine. When you separate solids from liquids, nothing really smells bad. That part works really well.
Yeah.
If we were gonna do like an RV, or like an expedition truck, or a cabin, or a place where like you couldn't install a proper septic tank, dry heads would be perfect. Like, we don't really have anything against it. On a boat, however,
It's a bit complicated.
there's a bit of an issue. And that is when it comes time to empty the thing, you can't empty it in an anchorage because then it'd just be like a floating pile of sawdust floating out behind your boat. And so you have to empty it either putting it in a trash bag and taking it to shore, which is very risky. And so the real alternative is dumping it offshore, which is where you dump your holding tank anyway.
Every time we were ready to dump our compost offshore, I was always
our dry waste.
dust,
Our dry waste.
our dry waste. I was always nervous because it's just a bucket. There's no lid to it or anything like
Yeah,
that.
no
So you just
lid.
pick it up and you have to walk through the boat.
It's just really hands-on, and it's just not a fun experience.
When we were redesigning this bathroom, we thought about it again. We were like, okay, what if we went back to a composting toilet and we just like start putting all the pros and cons in our head. In our head.
So many poop jokes.
Today. You have to put the sawdust or the peat moss somewhere, and we've had.
Yeah.
I remember on Uma 2.0, on old Uma.
1.0.
Yeah, on Uma 1.0, we had to find the sawdust, we had
It's
to
not easy.
find the peat moss, we had to buy it at the garden stores and then store it somewhere. And then because our boat wasn't like the most ventilated, it always ended up being kind of moist.
And full of bugs.
And then like the bugs would come in, and we
Yeah.
would have worms in there, and so it just was not sanitary.
So
So we
what's our solution?
converted. So we converted to our Dometic toilet, which I am sitting on right now.
Nice run.
It's. I mean, I think it's the prettiest of all of them. It's the
Yeah.
smallest as well, I think.
And it works like a regular toilet. It originally came with like a fill flush, like kind of a complicated system, but we kind of hacked the wiring and just wired like a single button. So when people come over, it's like, oh, can I use the head? It's like, yeah, just push the green button when you're done.
But one thing that we've had in the previous toilet is that it was saltwater flush, which worked okay, but it did make a difference in terms of calcification, and then you can kind of smell it. Like it always had kind of a rough type of smell into the toilet
Yeah,
all
it
the
smelled
time.
like just smelled like low tide.
Smelled like low tide.
Because every time you flush a
a
toilet, I mean the ocean's full of microorganisms, and every time you flush a toilet with salt water, those microorganisms come through the whole system, and then all that salt water sort of sits there, and all those microorganisms die, and then it just smells bad. Like even if you never used the head for like number 1, number 2, and you just flush salt water through it, it would still smell bad.
It would smell bad.
And the calcification was a real thing. The hose is about that big, and after 2 years, it's about that big.
Now that we have the water maker, I think that we're going to prioritize doing a freshwater flush with the possibility
Yeah.
of also doing a saltwater flush, just in case we can't make water, or something's wrong with the tanks and we have to
Like-
conserve water.
Sailing across the Pacific or something, it's 20 days, like
Yeah.
whatever it is. but-
Conserving water.
Yeah.
And you can always do a saltwater flush, and then the last flush you do, you just do fresh water,
Mm-hmm.
so that it kind of cleans it up and it prevents all the
microorganisms from dying. Yeah. So I
from
think we're
getting in
gonna
there.
install a bit of fancy Y valve work back here so we can flip between fresh and salt to flush, and then we can also flip between holding tank and overboard.
That's the plan for
That's
toilet.
the head plan. There's gotta be another pun in there somewhere.
That's
The poop plan? Nope.
what's in our head right now.
That's the plan in our head right now.
Yeah. If you have other puns, let us know in the comment below. When did I eat metal? Too much iron, obviously.
That was our hack to remember where all the parts were for the toilet. We just put
Store it inside.
all the parts for the toilet in the toilet.
Yeah, smart. Again?
Not everything stuff like that. I don't know why.
Glasswork's done. Keegan did an awesome job glassing this yesterday. One of our best work yet, I think. So this pedestal piece is done. This back corner's done. The joint between these two bulkheads and the B-berth is done. Today it's my task to rough in the countertop that's going to be going in here for the head, where the sink is going to be, the trash can's going to be, everything like that. A little bit of a countertop behind me that's going to go forward of the toilet. So I guess like behind the toilet, if you're looking at the toilet. That's where most of the plumbing and the through holes and stuff are going to be. And then a little bit more of a countertop on that side in the shower. We're still planning to have some pretty cool sink design. And that's going to be in the shower compartment. So all the wet stuff is going on in the shower compartment. First things first, I need to get out the laser and the iPad and start figuring out exactly where we're going to be cutting this bulkhead back. Because this bulkhead is just matched to what we did on the other side. So it's symmetrical, but we knew we're going to cut it back just a little bit. So we have some counter space in here. All right, another project on the list that we can tackle while the lumberyard is closed is building temporary companionway steps. Eventually, we're going to make something very nice here out of probably walnut or something beautiful. For now, it would be nice to sort of build a prototype out of plywood scraps that we already have to just make sure that the steepness and the angle and everything is good before we build something final. I'm just going to screw together a couple of pieces of wood and then try them out, and they'll be able to get rid of the janky ladder we've been using for the last year.
Wondering what that. Oh, this is so cool. Oh, nice.
What do you think?
I love it.
That's the model dimension. We might adjust it. Go up and down like 10 more times.
So, yeah. This last step is a bit
Yeah, it's kind of far in, isn't it?
far in. Yeah, like coming down. This, I would be like.
Yeah, it's far back. The rise isn't quite the same.
That's awesome. Oh my god. It's coming together.
Oh, and also, currently.
To access what? The water tank?
No, all the breakers and all the electronics that are going to be back there. Like the ocean volt electronics and breakers and switches and fuses and stuff. So it'll be something like that. And then the back of each one of these steps will still be, it's going to be a little smaller.
I was gonna say, because like, as soon as you put like a...
Yeah. This is where everything that came out of UMA exists. This is sort of like our room of organ transplants. Because a lot of it we're going to put back in because a lot of it's new and it works just fine. But we're here to find one specific thing. And it's in a very big box. And it's
somewhere.
buried in here somewhere. It's not that box. I think it's this box. Oh, Jesus. So lift this up.
Well, in this box, we have the real reason why we're doing this entire renovation. And that is it's a tiny washing machine. Although it doesn't weigh like a tiny washing machine, it's heavy. We've had this for over a year because we knew we wanted to put this inside the boat somewhere. And now that we finished with the first part of the tertiary bulkhead, so like the countertops, the shelves and stuff, we want to start putting in the bigger appliances so that we know where they're going to fit. This one is a big one because we have a couple ideas where we want it to be, but we're not entirely sure where is the best spot. So today, we're going to wrangle this thing inside. Hopefully it fits to the companionway. And then we'll figure out where we want it to be. Here we go. Drop it down. Got it.
That's not so big.
It's not so bad.
Yeah, so we've got 4 places that we can theoretically install this, and we just kind of want to double check to see if it fits, how it fits. Because like you can model stuff all day long, But until you actually see it in the space, you see like which way the door opens and if it bumps into something. So that's what we're gonna do. Kika talking washing machine head.
Talking machine.
But yeah, like Kika said, we bought this a long time ago because we thought that this was going to be a 3-month renovation and we're just going to rip out the sides of the boat, fix the dimples real quick. But now that everything has changed, we're going to put it somewhere else. The first place is in the corridor hanging locker.
Yeah, location number 1. Let's do this. Okay. It's not big, but it's
Called
not
mini, but like compared to what? So this is potentially somewhere in this cabinet is where we thought it might go. I think it opens this way, so that would be kind of an issue. But it definitely fits. I mean, there's plenty of space on the other side. This is kind of like prime real estate for storage because it's like right in the corridor when we step out of the V-berth. And so it would be kind of a waste to put the washing machine here. All right, space number 2 and 3 are in the head. Easy does it. Place number 2 is sort of like here above the toilet.
I don't like it.
I don't think I like it either. I don't think it would really be in the way of the toilet, but like, it's kind of like, you should be staring at it.
I know, it's a statement piece when you put it
It's a
here.
statement piece. So that's was a theoretical option, but we have to build a cabinet around it, and like, yeah, I don't think I like that as much. So space number 3 would be in this cabinet. Sort of like in the shower area. Which wouldn't be bad because we have water running into here. We already have drains running into here. It would be like behind the cabinet that's gonna go here. And then it would be like behind the wall where we'd be showering. Not a bad place to put it. Lots of people put washing machines in their bathrooms. All right, 4th option, which we just came up with like yesterday. Easy does it. Easy does it. So, I need to set this thing down. 4th option is back here between the hanging locker and the pilot berth. It's sort of in like this closet we didn't really know what we were gonna do with because it's not deep enough to be a hanging locker, and we have the hanging locker here. Location number 4.
I hope it fits.
Ooh, tight fit. Yeah. Yeah.
That's my favorite location.
If I hold it up and you take like, I think we're gonna be okay.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna fit in there.
I
but
think
like,
it's nice.
But like by a centimeter.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have to get a little bit creative in how we mount it because we can't bring that plywood all the way down. But also, this much of the back of it is just like plastic. And so if we need to like trim a tiny little bit of that plastic off to lay it back another centimeter, we can. Because it's just plastic offset.
I think we found the spot.
I think I like
This
it
is
here.
the best spot. I like it.
Look, now I don't have to hold it up anymore.
Well,
I think we found the position.
I think we found the spot.
Position number 4.
Now let's talk about that elephant in our room.
It's
The
a
not
baby
so
elephant.
mini washing machine. When we started sailing, when we started our life on the boat, I've never thought that we would ever need or even want a washing machine on the boat because, you're surrounded by water.
Yeah.
You can, wash clothes by hand and then hang it up out on the spreaders and things like that. And we've done that for the first couple of years. But we found ourselves often needing to go to a laundromat anyway, especially for like the sheets and towels and big things that just didn't dry easily out in a salty environment.
Yeah, in the Caribbean it was kind of easy because
Yeah.
we only wore like a pair of shorts and a bikini. I mean, she wore shorts, I wore a bikini. But
Let's be honest.
yeah, I think that was the easy part because we never really washed your clothes. You go for a swim, you rinse them with fresh water, you hang them up.
Yeah.
But the further away we get from the tropics, the more we're around like cities and like working, on the boat, our clothes get much more dirty. And so we do laundry at laundromats. Usually it's not that bad. It's probably like $15 to $20 for a load of laundry. including drying it.
Until we went further north.
It's more expensive than that.
And Norway, we got hit with a 200 euro bill that one time because we
Yeah.
were trying to wash everything. So the reality is, do we need a washing machine on board? No. But the reason why we got it is because we think it's better to have like smaller loads at a
Yeah.
time. Like we can wash one shirt and one pair of pants, you know, together maybe every couple of days instead of trying to accumulate all the laundry in order to do one big load at a laundromat once a month.
And
So-
it's just one less trip in the dinghy to
Yeah.
shore, to land, to hike through a town in the hot, humid, heat, trying to find some place to do your laundry. We've seen them in like expedition trucks. We have some friends on sailboats who have the same little washing machines.
We've been hesitant and we talked about it a lot, but yeah, we splurged and we're like, you know what, Uma 3.0 is going to be the most
Yeah.
luxurious boat. We deserve it, I think.
It's going to be the most luxurious version of Uma that's ever existed, I think.
Do you think maybe we should get a dishwasher too?
Yeah, maybe push button winches.
Yeah.
Yeah. 2.0
Anyway.
was pretty good. 3.0 is going to be
Even better.
It's gonna be nice. I think that's a good spot. I think it's gonna fit. It's out of the way. It's near the companionway, so we can take our wet laundry out and just straight outside to dry. It's in a closet that we didn't really know what we were gonna do with, so I think it's gonna fit perfectly. Now we know what we need to do behind it to finish sealing off the stringer, and
Yeah.
then we have a couple more shelves to build into the pilot berth, and then all of the tertiary bulkheads will be glass to the hull, and then we can move on to the next phase of this
Yeah.
renovation. So that's
Super.
exciting times.
Okay.
Let's keep going.
So fun fact with Uma 1.0 and Uma 2.0, we were starting to get kind of
I'm gonna take my arm back now.
complacent with all the angles to film, but now we're going to have so many new angles.
Oh, just because like those are the same ones over and over again.
Yeah. We always were in the same spot, same angles. It was kind of like easy.
We're
but
discovering new ones, like
I
sitting inside the
know,
pilot
like
berth.
here. Okay.
Cool.
Let's see if we can get that. Okay.